It's super late right now, but I've had this thought that I just felt that I had to get out and I had to put in a video. And it's one of those things that I even still, as I'm filming this, I struggle to get out. One of the things that I have a hard time with is getting everything that's up here out of here. I try to do the best I can, but sometimes it doesn't go that well. There's been many times that I make a video and I listen back to it and I think, I didn't get to the point that I wanted to get to there. So forgive me if this seems kind of jumbled up and together, but I hope that you stick with me because if there's I just want you to hear this. We live in a society, especially here in America, that prides itself on, making you go to college or going and getting a good job or being an attorney or a doctor or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with being an attorney or a doctor. What I'm about to say has nothing to do with the exact field that you do as it has to do with you yourself. Because as a musician, I'll be honest, there's almost all the time actually that somebody says, well, what do you do? And I say I'm a musician. I always twinge just a little bit because I'm waiting for the rebuttal. I'm waiting for that person to say, oh, and then have some sort of snarky remark. And it is difficult, if you say that you're a musician or an actor or a comedian or a book writer or a blogger. It doesn't matter. Anything of this new age era that we're going into, where these professions are real things, if you tell somebody that you do these things, they in a way, they kind of turn their nose up at you. And it's such a shame. So many people are driven out of their dreams because of the fear of ridicule from their peers or their parents or anybody else that's around them. And I struggle with it too. This doesn't come easy for me. I would be far more, I guess you could say stress-free if I went and got a normal job. But then again, it wouldn't be more stress-free because I would hate the life that I would be living because I wouldn't be living my dreams. And I've done that before. I've had other jobs. There's been the question before, Stenosis, what did you do before you were a musician? I've done a lot of things. I worked, right out of high school, I worked in a warehouse. I enjoyed that job. It, very little responsibility. And I always craved for more, but I worked in that warehouse, and I was in a band at the time, and I've always wanted to do music, ever since I was a little kid. I mean, little kid. I've never known a day where being a musician was not what I wanted to do. And I don't know if people quite understand that. I don't know if they grasp that. This isn't something that I decided to do a year ago or 2 years ago or whenever the Stenosis channel was created. Being a musician and being a professional artist is something that I've wanted to do ever since I have existed. It's cliche to say, but it's absolutely true. I cannot stress that enough. My brain works on music. So whenever I was working in that warehouse, I would be listening to music all the time. I would be thinking about music and how my favorite songs were recorded and written, and I would think of the layers and whatnot. And I worked in the warehouse, and let's see. After that, I moved, and I worked in hospital security for a while. I hated that too, because I just constantly had this overwhelming nagging feeling that I was wasting my life, wasting my time, because none of what I was doing is what I actually wanted to do. But I was doing it because it made other people happy. It validated validated me. It made me feel like I could be proud whenever somebody says, what do you do? Oh, well, I work security at the hospital. And there are people who say, well, that's a good job. You're doing a good thing. And we all strive for that acceptance. We all strive for that validation from our peers and our parents. And whenever you say that you're a musician or an actor, First question, oh, do you make a lot of money? Do you make money doing that? And there's no right way to answer that question, because it doesn't matter what you say. They're not going to care. And it's none of their business anyway. You know, if you were to go in and ask them, well, do you make a lot of money doing what you do? What is your yearly income? It would seem offensive and disrespectful. But whenever somebody asks an artist-based profession, person in the profession, then it's just all of a sudden accepted, because you have to back up what you're doing. You have to back up your decision to live your own life and live your own dreams. And I think that's just it. I cannot stand it. I cannot stand the fact that us as artists or creators, we have to justify our lives to people, or we feel the need to justify our lives to people. And I mean, if you think about it, if you go into a store or you're walking down the sidewalk and you have a camera facing you and you're vlogging and you're talking to this camera, people are looking at you like you're an idiot. And people are, oh my God, this person's stupid. You know, you're holding this camera, you're stupid talking to the camera, you know. And that's why you're embarrassed, or maybe not you, maybe you're just overly confident. That's fine. All the power to you. If you have the confidence to not care what other people think, that's great. Respectfully, if you have the confidence, that's wonderful. But most of us get really, really self-conscious about this kind of stuff. And if you're walking around with that camera, or you're walking around and you're practicing your acting for a movie, people will look at you like you're stupid. But if you walk into a store, you're walking down the sidewalk and you're in a suit because you're an attorney, or you're wearing a doctor's jacket because you're a doctor, people don't care. They look at you like, it's an upstanding person there, they're doing a good job. Why? What separates that? And that's what irritates me. What separates the passion a doctor has to be a doctor to the passion a musician has to want to be a musician? Why is it any different that a person wants to perform on a stage and entertain people and make them happy and bring them value in their life and give them a song that connects with them and helps them through a hard time in their life potentially, or gets them into a better mental place so that it lifts their depression? Why is that any different than a doctor who wants to help heal people, who wants to help bring people through their illnesses, or a lawyer who wants to help people get the right side of justice, or the right side of something that was wronged to them, or anybody else, a counselor, or insert any profession that's socially accepted as prestigious. Why is it different? It shouldn't be. And it goes back to the money thing. People want to know, how much money do you make? And if you tell them, oh, I don't make any money right now, I'm doing it right now and I'm building up in hopes that I grow and I make money doing this, then people think, well, that's immature, that's the wrong decision, you need to go out and get a job that makes money. Now. Why? A doctor didn't make money from the medical profession when he was in college, or she was in college. The attorney didn't make money from cases whenever they were in college. When a person got out of high school and they thought to themselves, I would really like to be insert socially accepted profession, they didn't make money immediately for the most part. I mean, if you have a profession that you have to go to college for, you were not making a living from that profession the way that you do now, or the way that person does, whatever, after they got out of college. You have that time span of growing, of learning, of education, of finding out who you are, what you want to do, the details of the field. Being a YouTuber is no different than that. And that's what I want to get through. You have your life, and you do not need to validate yourself to anybody. I don't want you to feel like you have to, because you don't. You have dreams. You have your life. You have your aspirations. And I cannot stress enough how much I want you to go for those. I want you to be successful and happy in what you do. Live your dreams. Struggle to live a life that means something rather than comfortably live for nothing. As a matter of fact, I thought of that quote the other day, and I made it into a t-shirt and I put it on Amazon because I felt it just rang so true to how I feel inside. And it was one of those moments where I was actually able to get what was here out of here. I would much rather struggle living for something than comfortably live for nothing. If you're a YouTuber or you're a musician and you're doing what you want to do, or you want to be a YouTuber, you want to be like Casey, or you want to be like Peter McKinnon or PewDiePie, or again, insert any professional YouTuber who is making a damn good living doing what they're doing, or just a modest living. It doesn't matter. If you want to do something and you're not making money, that's fine. Don't let that discourage you. You don't make money from that field whenever you're in college. You use that time to learn and to grow. The arts is no different. I don't really make money from Stenosis. I don't bring in enough money to really speak of. I'm trying. I'm growing. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to evolve what I do into something that is more sustainable. And whenever I say sustainable, I mean financially sustainable. Emotionally, music will always be sustainable for me. The goal is to work to marry those two together. And you should never have to apologize or justify doing that for yourself. Take what is emotionally sustainable for you. Whether you want to be a musician, a studio musician, a performer, an actor. I don't care if it's being the manager of McDonald's. It doesn't matter. Take your passion that is emotionally sustainable for you and work to make it financially sustainable for you. And don't let anybody else tell you any different. Don't let them discourage you. Don't let them get you down. Because they're not living your life. They won't pay your bills. They will not go to work for you. They will not be the ones that have the 4 a.m. nights just to wake up at 6 a.m. and do it all over again so that you can get better and be happier with your life and feel more fulfilled, rather than going to a job and being miserable and going home and being miserable and going to bed early and then dying, and once you're dead nobody knows who you were. They won't be the ones that do your life. You do your life. You have your dreams. Whenever I'm watching a live performance of a band, be it on YouTube or whatever, or if I'm watching the movie Rockstar, or if I'm watching anything like that, I always get chills. It always gets me in this state of mind of both nostalgia and anxiousness and depression also, because I just, that's all I've ever wanted for myself. All I've ever wanted is to be that guy, that musician, that artist that creates music that people resonate with, that makes a good living doing it, that can be proud to say, I am this person. That's all I've ever wanted. And it took me years to figure out, and I still struggle with it, to figure out that I don't have to justify to anybody else. Feeling like I needed to justify myself ended me up with back surgery. Because I took a profession and I got hurt doing it. I took a profession that I thought, okay, I'll be happy doing this, and I'll get by, but people will be proud of me for doing this job. And then I got hurt. And I had to have back surgery. And the people who were proud of me at the time, all of a sudden, weren't proud of me anymore. They didn't care. They didn't care that I was hurt. They didn't have to feel the pain. They didn't spend every single night sweating and not sleeping because they were in pain. It was me. And that was my fault for trying to do something to validate myself to somebody else, when the whole time I should have just been focusing on how I feel and what validates me within myself, within my dreams, as the person I want to be. And I genuinely hope, it doesn't matter how old you are, that you do what you want to do. Live your dreams. Find your aspirations and just go for them. Because that's who you are and that's what you have. I believe in you. I genuinely do. We don't know each other, but I believe in you. And all I want is for you to believe in yourself. I just had to get this video out. It was something that was eating me up inside. There's a lot of things that spawned it, but I just wanted to get this out. It is quite a long video, but I hope that you're still here. I hope that I was able to help you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much for your support, watching my videos. Please like this if you liked it. Share it if you feel that somebody else needs to see it. It might be you that changes somebody else's life. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Let me know what your dreams are down below.